Welcome everyone to another edition of Play It Through, and on this edition it's World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck for the Sega Genesis, brought to us by Sega. World of Illusion is a great platformer for the Sega Genesis, not only as a single-player game, but also as a great co-op game. World of Illusion is also just one of 4 different games in the Of Illusion series, also including Castle, Legend, and Land of Illusion. However, World and Castle were the only 2 released for the Sega Genesis. So here we go with World of Illusion for the Sega Genesis. After our intro, we'll get our press start screen, and then we'll get a little bit more story before we're able to make our selections. After our story, at the select screen you're able to select how many players, 1 or 2, and then you get to pick who you want to play as, either Mickey or Donald, and I'll be playing as Donald in this run. Once the game begins, you'll immediately be able to see how graphically beautiful this game really is, with great foregrounds as well as background animations, as well as just great colors and designs on each of the characters, makes this a very bright and colorful game. World of Illusion is much different than Castle of Illusion and the other Illusion games. In this one, we can see that magic is a big theme, and that's actually our main attack, using Donald's magic cape in order to transform enemies and do damage to them. The whole element of magic, though, makes this game very unique. Just the fact of being able to hit enemies and turning them into flowers or butterflies or something else that's much safer to deal with is just something that we didn't see very often in video games. World of Illusion is also filled with different elements from many Disney cartoons and feature films. In the second area of level 1, be careful as you're making your way from leaf to leaf, working your way over, and then once you get here, be sure to be ready as the leaves will slowly descend. If you fall off, though, you don't have to worry since there is solid ground below you. However, when you continue, you're gonna see a sign in the background with an exclamation point, which will warn you that there's a gap coming up. In the next area of the level, there's a whole spider-filled level with lots of different webs to walk on, as well as other webs that will actually break apart when you step on them, so you have to be careful. This is also a very similar area that we saw in Castle of Illusion. For these spiders, they move along and they actually make a path on their web behind them, so you have to follow them as they're making their way through the webs. There's a few items to collect in World of Illusion, including these cards, which will actually give you an extra life if you collect 52 of them. There's pieces of candy, which I collected one earlier, which gives you 1 piece of health. There's cake, which will give you full health. Magic hats, which will also give you an extra life. And then there's sometimes invincibility, represented by white or blue cards. For a few seconds, cards will be swirling around you, and you'll have a couple of seconds of complete invulnerability. Once the cards disappear, though, be ready, because you're going to run out of the invincibility. You can see the upper left corner is my health, and it's represented by different cards, which is another thing that's pretty cool. In here is our first boss battle of the game, this large spider. Use your cape to hit it a few times, and then it'll go back up and then go either diagonal left or right, and then it'll go back up and actually go behind the web. Once it does this, you won't be able to hit it, and just have to watch as it mocks you from behind there. After a few seconds of taunting you, it'll go back up and then come back down in a different diagonal direction, giving you a couple more chances to hit it. It won't take too many hits to defeat him, and you'll collect the first of many magic chests located in the game. Each of the magic chests in the game will give you a different spell, which will automatically be used when you need them. The first one is this magic carpet spell. To control the magic carpet while on it, you have to keep pressing the jump button in order to keep yourself afloat. Be very careful while making your way through this area, as there's going to be whirlwinds and birds to attack us while we're trying to go through. World of Illusion also has some pretty good replay value, because regardless of who you're playing as, if you play as Donald or play as Mickey, there's different things to see depending upon who you are, as well as some stuff you can only see if you're playing a co-op game. The next area is a rushing river, and you have to stay on this leaf as you're making your way through it. Be sure to jump over the low-laying platform so you don't get stuck and end up knocked into the water. If you fall into the water though, you will instantly lose a life. When you make it into this next cave, be sure to duck, as there will be rocks falling from the ceiling. Coming up in the next cave, there's going to be fire that we're going to have to jump over. It's a little bit tricky. It may take a try or two in order to get past this area the first time. The next one, you're going under 2 different fireballs, and then you actually have to jump off the leaf to get on some rocks to get up to a different leaf. The next cave contains both a high and low fireball, so you have to duck, then jump over it. Once you get past that though, that's the end of this area, and you'll go on to the next section, jumping on clouds. This cloud-filled area is a lot of different cloud platforms, including the very large ones you can see with faces on them, that move when you jump on top of them. This area is a lot tamer than the previous area of that rushing river, so just be careful in making your way through each of the cloud platforms. Some of the clouds will disappear once you jump on them, but other than that, there really isn't too much to worry about. I really enjoy that giant cloud piano as you make your way over, as different music notes fly off of it, as well as different candies you can get for extra health. Next up is the next boss battle of the game. This temple-looking thing will actually move around, causing each block to fall off, causing a baby dragon to appear. Each of the dragons will actually take 2 hits in order to defeat them, and if you're quick about it, you should be able to knock each of them left and right in order for them actually never to be able to get a move off on you. Sometimes though, if you're a little bit slow, you may take a fireball or so, but it's really not too difficult, and you should be able to defeat it and collect the next chest. Once we come back, Donald casts the new spell he just got, the bubble spell, and now we go into a water-filled area. This whole water area is going to be a little bit difficult at first because the controlling of the bubble isn't exactly as smooth as you may like it to be. You have to keep pressing the jump button in order to move yourself and swim upwards. So trying to get your way around the fish, as well as other enemies in this area, can be a little bit difficult at times. Work your way on the bottom area, trying to avoid the spikes on the bottom and ceiling, and avoid the fish or so that's in the area. Once you get past that area, start heading all the way north, ignoring the area to your left. You want to keep heading up and go to the right section. In here you have to be careful, as there's going to be spikes on both the bottom and top. Once you get to the next area, you're going to start seeing some bubble streams. Work your way over to the second set of bubbles. You'll see a clam on the right side, and once you turn away from the clam, it'll start moving towards you. Use the clam to block the bubbles so that you can get by it. In the next area, our actual goal